Olave. I love that song, and it's part of a project called Power. Yeah, she has a whole. Is it an album? Yes, out. That is Amanda Black with Humber, and I hope you really liked that piece of the song that I played for you. And please add it to your playlist. This helps the artists as well. And as usual, me when I get to obsess over something, without a doubt, even you'll have to obsess over it. It's just what it is. I can't control it. But welcome to another episode of the In All Honesty podcast. My fabulous name is Olave Orawo, and this is coming to you on our TBC Radio show every Monday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on Instagram Live. And today we were talking about adult friendships. When is it time to just go our separate ways? And Dolly and 247 Crochets are laughing here about she was a fairy. I'm supposed to do a tutorial for how to tie this. It's so simple. And yeah, anyway, I hope I'll remember. I really struggle with lifestyle content. I'm just a yapper. Yappiana in the house. I just know how to yap. But to record content, to be doing something is a struggle for me. But yeah, this is our second half of the show. And in case you have forgotten before we went on our break, I'd like to remind you that I have an event coming up on the 15th. That is on this coming Saturday. It's a networking event, and we've also curated it with a learning session where you have panelists who will help you with insights on how to invest in yourself, as well as my EQ session, a masterclass that I have been planning for months. And I was like, I'll give people a masterclass so people get to understand what EQ is, how you can use it. EQ is basically emotional intelligence, and how you can basically use it in your day-to-day life to make decisions, to navigate scenarios, to do whatever you need to do at work. And what I usually tell people, EQ will help you even manipulate that manipulator. Do you have a boss who's just vile? I'll tell you how to tap into your red flags. Don't worry. You match energy for energy. But anyway, welcome to this episode of the In All Honesty podcast. We're going into the second session, and this second session usually has confessions, and it is those confessions that we then go ahead to discuss. And we've talked about when we're talking about friendships and when it's time to just go our separate ways. We also talked about this was inspired by two things. When your friend has been cancelled by three things. Sorry, when your friend has been cancelled publicly, where do you stand in that situation? Or they've done something stupid and you can't continue to be their friends. Where do you also stand in that situation? What if your friend is the problem? It's them always causing trouble. It's them always in something. What do you do in that situation, right? And also we've talked about the dynamics changing when your friends get married, when your friends get children, when they get richer. What happens when you also outgrow your friends, or when you're the friend who has been outgrown? And Dolly asked very pertinent questions here when we were closing the first hour. Let me try and find it. Huku sasa Dolly na 247 Crochets mumemisiana. In my comments, do you know that post for when you see two people starting to love each other, under your comments you delete the post? Dolly had said, hii episode mtu anafaa kukuja na journal yake. Are you jealous of your friend outgrowing you? 1. Are you entitled to friendship? 2. Would you break up with your friends if you made it? Umetoka block, will you break up with them? So those are some of the things that we even talked about in the first hour. And Dolly at also, where did the strict babe on the relationship episode? Crushes. See live Nikaba class, constantly missing my classmates. Oh, you guys met here. Love it. Okay. Sawa, let's get into the conversation right now. What adult friendships? When is it time to just go your separate ways? When is it toxic? When is it just outgrowing someone? How do you navigate that outgrowing of people? And as I've said, I'm very emotionally unavailable. As a man, I'd have been very toxic, but maybe as a woman, I am as well. Why did I downplay that? Oh yeah, maybe I am. But anyway, as an emotionally unavailable person, or just someone who doesn't struggle with emotions that much, it's easier for me to navigate situations. I really walk away from situations very fast. I'm able to just say my mind. I can speak my mind right now and just tell you, yeah, I'm going through a lot. I didn't feel like I wasn't with your energy. So yeah, but anyway, let's get into this. The first confession is actually, what is it called? It's a voice note. So someone sent me a voice note. I had to edit it because identity nini, but we have a voice note, and I'd like to know if you guys heard the song. If you heard the song, then you'll hear the voice note. Please, someone confirm for me if you heard the song that I played on the break. Humber by Amanda Black. Please just confirm for me before I play this so that we get into our first confession. Ambabegile. Please, can someone confirm for me if you heard the song? Or let me just see. Can you hear this?
Hi. So where do I start? Okay, for context, I'll give you my age. I am 32, twice engaged. Long story. But I never got married, but I have friends.
Before I continue, please, someone confirm for me that you can hear that. Okay. Asanteni Sana. Thank you, 247 Crochets. Thank you, Doliat. Irene Soti. Thank you. Oh, you woke up. You made it. Irene Soti is my friend. The friend who took care of me when I was dying last week. Hey, guys, let me tell you. But anyway, okay. So our first confession, it's very long. It's 6 minutes. So maybe in the middle, we'll discuss Kidogo and then we continue. Ating Lau and 247 Crochets. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's get into our very first confession. Here we go.
Hi. So where do I start? Okay, for context, I'll give you my age. I am 32, twice engaged. Long story. But I never got married, but I have friends who are even 3-4 years younger than me who got married. So it's not like they rushed to the altar. So let me give a context on that. People, or rather female friendships, change a lot. And some of your friends disappear as soon as they get a man in their life. That should be like your first red flag, that if you're the single friend and you have this friend who makes her entire existence about her man, she's gonna disappear and ghost you once she gets married, and she'll probably try and reach out to you when her marriage gets rocky, which if it's a healthy marriage, that may be from between year 3 to 5 when the kids start getting involved. So it's just to do what you want to do with that. But in my case, my closest friend, like my childhood friend, who I even considered my sister, is the one who decided to ghost me after she got married. Now, that thing really disturbed me because I was there even planning your whole freaking engagement. And now, since you've secured the man to menda to make a rep, you do not want to talk to me. And I came to realize there's something that happens, especially, and she's not the only one, baby. There's something that happens when couples go to marriage counseling, and then they get all this stuff put in their heads and cautionary tales. Oh, don't have your man next to your sister, don't have your man next to your friends, or don't have your wife next to your brothers and your buddies and whatever. And it takes a level of discernment to understand what is advice and how these cautionary tales may be applicable and what needs to be the responsibility of your partner and not really your friends when it comes to the dynamics of the interactions. So as someone who has received that treatment, it really hurts. Now that, and then I'm not single, I'm dating. So it's not even an issue of being alone per se that hurts. It's the fact that now, since now your friends are married and you're not married, somehow it gives off that we are better than you vibes, which is not true, because in all reality, most of the time, when checking out your friend's man like that, he's like you to you, but that's a story for another day. But you get my point. Like, that's just what happens. As the only advice I can give is for someone on the receiving end, do not take it personally. These two are married, they're making married decisions now, and the reality is that their marriage is superior to your friendship. It doesn't matter how close you guys were. Like, all that doesn't matter. Your friend is moving into a new season, and how she wants to move into it is her decision. So what you need to do is assess in your heart, is this someone who you'll give space? Then if, and this is a huge if the dynamics between you guys change as she settles into her marriage, are you willing to pick up from where you left things from? Because trying to confront her that she picked her husband over you is never going to work. She will always be picking that man, always. Now since it's her husband, she's loyalty is equal to apple. Or if you are really hurt with the situation, you just walk away. Like, katumbali, because yes, discussions about you were had without you. You could not defend yourself. And they were mostly on unfounded things. It's not like mulikuwa mnakorofishana na you were literally at her wedding. So it's just that her and her husband decided they just want to make their friends group be other marriage people for relatability and whatever. So if you feel you can't get past that disappointment, because that disappointment really hurts. If you can't get over it, then make peace with the fact that you and your friend can't be friends anymore, because she will be dragging her husband along. Granted, that's not also what I want to do when I get married. That's a conscious decision that I've made for myself. I am not going to abandon my friends, single, married, divorced, whatever, who have been with me and doing this thing called life with me, especially those who predate my man. I'm not going to just leave my sisterhood behind. They're my sisters. And I think your life needs variety. But that for me it's an important discussion. And with my current partner, he also has friends who are married who include us in whatever that they're doing and include their single friends. So it's not like I haven't seen it being done and being done well. It's just that you have to have some level of maturity as you go about it. And you also have to prepare your friends like, hey, I'm going to get married.
Okay, so first of all, let's do, up to there. It's still, we have 3 more minutes to go. I'll play the rest. But I just want us to note a couple of things she has said. When people are getting married, when they go for this marriage counseling, they're sort of told things. They're fed some propaganda. about, oh, don't keep your friends around don't keep your husband around your friends or something of the sort. And maybe that is what is affecting most of our married friends. Maybe when they go for counseling or once they are married, they're told these things about other people, and maybe it gets to their head. I do not know. Like, don't you also have a mind of your own to just think, okay, my friend, and why would I be scared about my husband around my friends? If you're scared about that, you've married the wrong man. I'm sorry. If you literally have to watch out for your friends, sour. Maybe you have a friend who likes to. We the previous episode, guys, remember when we talked about people who like people who are married, or like they only chase the ones who have already been got, and that is why there's friends who want to date their friends' exes and things like those. Yes, you might have friends who are a bit questionable, but then why are you worried if you're sure you've also picked a good man? So maybe that is something that we just note it before I play the rest of it. But then she called it these cautionary tales that you're told during counseling. And also there's something that she said in this first part, that your friend is also just getting married for the first time. So if you can extend them grace, if they've not done something so outrageous, you can extend them grace and just let them know that they are now figuring out this particular situation. But even you who has gotten married, also just explain it to your friend. Be like, I'm also trying to figure out this marriage life. I might be not as available as I was before. There are things that I'm still trying to figure out. Like maybe you've gone to counseling, you've been told those things, those cautionary tales, as well as your husband now, or maybe even your in-laws are expecting a couple of things. There's a lot that goes into being newly married. And so that, alongside with balancing your friends who probably are still single, might be something that's a lot. So communicate it to your friends. And also the way she's saying her friend changed her attitude towards her, yet she's not even single. She's dating. She's not even proper single like us on our live at 7 a.m. while people are cuddling their people in bed in this weather. All of you, 15 of you right now. Maybe you're cuddling with your friends with your person while watching this. I'm sorry for accusing you. But anyway, you are even dating, but still the idea of marriage still feels superior even to dating. So someone who's married is feeling, even if you're dating, you still don't know. And they're still looking at you with their nose. Yeah? So at the end of the day, I think that was also an interesting dynamic that I didn't think about. A lot of times, if people judge me, they judge me for being single. Like they've not seen anyone in your life. You don't even have prospects. Like we need to pray for you. You go to Pastor Nganga. But being judged when you are actively dating, that is very wild to me. And she also mentions that she has been actually engaged before. So this friend knows you. And your friend has been there through the marriage, the organizing of the wedding. They've been happy for you. And then just feeling like you're superior to them just because now you're married. I really need that. I really need to get what is behind that thought process. But anyway, that is the first part. Please share your thoughts. Please continue to share your thoughts as I play the second part. And then we finish this confession and then we get to discuss it now in full. Here goes the second part.
Things will change, and this is how I'm anticipating for them to change, but just give me grace as I adjust into my new married life. I still want to maintain our sisterhood relationship and how we're going to adjust to each other, because also as you get married and change, there'll also be adjustments with your sisterhood, those who are married, those who are single, those who are searching, all those things, so that now they can understand like the new boundaries that need to be in place to protect both sides and all those other things. And then one thing that really pisses me off, which maybe you could discuss, is these guys who now abandon people because they have a man and have a husband. Why is it that now you're mad at me because I'm not friends with your husband? Like, shouldn't you even be happy? I'm not that close to him, so I'm not going to like be eyeing your husband like that. Like, what is this thing that you have to be friends with both of us? Like, really? No. Ew. Like, that is so... That is some limited thinking, and you're two different people, and I chose you, I didn't choose him. So why is it that now, because now I've chosen you and you brought him after the fact, now I'm being killed with this decision that I have to choose him as well? Not that I have anything against their man, it's just that sometimes you don't want to hang out with your friend's man the way you hang out with your friends. I need to discuss chick things. I need our gossip to be our gossip, not our gossip together with your husband. What if you even know the person I'm talking about and is his friend? Like, anyways, maybe from your other case studies, maybe from the other perspective, those who are married and are attached to their men like another limb, fine. Maybe they can explain it, but I'm the kind of person who feels like for real partnerships to work, there's a level of autonomy that also needs to function within the partnership so that it can be authentic. You cannot just forgo your mind, your existence because of your husband. Even the vows that till death do us part, there's a time you're parting, so it's not like... Anyways, I think you got what I mean. Now I'm venting. But personal experience, use it as a case study from the person who's received it and have managed it. I've gladly let go friends who I was not seeing how we could reconnect even post whatever is happening. And it was not a resentful thing. I just understood that the season of that friendship is done. And that is like, even if I get married, you're still not hanging out, because me having a man cannot be the qualification for us to hang out. And I'm okay missing their life events, baby showers and other things. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Let's just not be friends. Because I don't know how your man is going to respond, and I don't want to have to nurse another grown-ass man's emotions. Like, kila mtu na mtu wake. And then there are others that, depending on how they managed that change with me, especially those who didn't do it so brutally, we are able to find our way back to each other, pole, just keeping in touch. But the reality is that our friendship is a downgrade of what it was before they got married. And that's a reality that I'm willing to live with. And if they can't live with it like that, then that's on them. But I cannot be forced to fix something that I didn't break, especially if it was not even something that had anything to do with her. It was her partner. Those are just testing waters that I don't want to dip my feet in. Anyway, I hope my 8 minutes have given you some insight. And yes, I am looking forward to next week for this IG live. Yeah, I'm going to be listening to this one. Keep up the good work.
Oh yeah. And now the friendship is a downgrade of what it used to be. Did you catch that? That is a full confession. It was 8 minutes. I edited it down to 6 minutes. Nili Yarakisha too, basically. But also I've changed her voice for ID and all of that. So yes. Is packed. I actually did not know there are people who once they're married, they now want their partner to be part of me. Like, you now want me to hang out with your partner as well. Ebu niondokewe na huyo partner wako. But anyway, let me read some of the comments that were coming in, and they'll help us like unpack some of this. Doliat, you're saying, thank you, Irene, for nursing our coach. Wait, see, I have this thing. Wait, we clap for Irene. Where is it? Applause. Thank you very much. I haven't used my effects. I should use my effects. Okay. We have to keep our coach in perfect health. Nashukuru sana. Also, Irene is, I'll just shameless plug right here. Irene is the creator. No, is it the creator? The founder of Roots and Raisin. So she's basically, what is it called? Alternative medicine. And she is actually certified. I was brought pharma medicine that only made my situation worse. But miti shamba ni nani? So yeah, you'll contact her. She actually is one of my partners at Buy Olive. So if you go over there and if you look for a herbalist under the specialists, you will find her and you can be able to shop for the things that you require. But anyway, I'll give you more of that later on. Ating Lau, you're saying, hey Olive, what kind of counseling are people going for? I am married and this is new news to me. Wait, Ating Lau, you got married. I didn't know. Congrats again. Okay, what type of counseling are people going for? Yes, because the lady in the confession actually mentioned that when people go for counseling, they're told this, what did she call them? Cautionary tales. Don't do this. Now you're not supposed to do this. And one of those is, I think maybe the most common one is don't keep your husband around your friends. And this is a very, very old, I think I might have had it when I was really young. I didn't know that us now, I thought we are the young people now. I really didn't know that that is something that we are currently still propagating. And Ating Lau, yes, thank you very much. And congratulations. I hope marriage is going very well. You'll tell us. Maybe I'll do an episode with people who are married. They tell us how it's going, especially millennials. Our marriage should be different from our parents, right? But yes, I'll get married people to talk about it. 247 Crochet says, yes, why would I have to worry about my man being around my friends? That's exactly what I thought. What sort of man is this? Ating Lau continues to say, if someone is scared of their husband hanging out with their friends, then the husband's character is also questionable, not just their friends. But I think I would first accuse my husband before I first accuse my friends. Ama ni mimi tu niko na faith sana in who my friends are. I genuinely would, yeah, and I would feel like even that friend of yours, if something happened, wouldn't they tell you? But we have a second confession as well. We have a second confession, you'll see. But the second confession is text. As usual, I read it, but we'll see. There's that element there as well. What is this situation that I think Lau is complaining about? Or maybe it's the situation Doliat is saying I've become personal. At your big age, you don't have someone. Are you okay? Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, there's some ninis I'm missing here. Sorry. There's some comments that I might actually be missing. It's 247 Crochets who's saying, okay, Olive, stick to the topic. You're getting personal. My singular is not your singular. Are you in a situationship? I will judge you. Call me magistrate. Murioki Kiai also saying they are told not to have single friends, especially those divorced and widows. Hey, what have we done? Okay. Can you imagine the double tragedy? Hey, the double tragedy. I'm divorced. On top of that, you're leaving me because I'm divorced. Hey, this life, no balance. And who's giving people this advice? Murioki Kia, you still continue to say, still the same in these churches. If there's one thing this is now a cautionary tale, I will tell you. Marilyn Chep, you are agreeing with Murioki Kia. You're saying 100% exactly. This is a cautionary tale I'm telling you now. I genuinely do, even if you're a Christian, even if you are a Christian, you're a staunch Christian, I do not believe in going for therapy or counseling from someone who's psychology, whatever, their practice is based in religion. I do not advocate for it at all, even if you're a Christian. Now, I understand that there's elements of you that exist that really believe in God, and that is what makes you who you are. But I would really advise that when you're going for things like counseling, take a neutral party. And when you go into it, don't go into it as marriage for religion. Marriage is just marriage. Okay? What Jesus was telling you about marriage, what God is telling you about marriage is consistent. Here's the thing. Everyone wants you to be happy in your marriage, including God. So while you're going for therapy, you're going for counseling, you're going for couples therapy, all those things, I would really really advocate for taking a non-religious approach. Now, the people who go for counseling in church, I feel like church counseling should be cancelled. Honestly, there's a lot of misinformation being perpetrated in church. And since church has this sort of, people already believe that the person in church is the person who's supposed to guide you through your situation, and they've put trust in this pastor or whoever, there's a lot that you'll be told that you might not even question. And there are things that will damage you or will damage your marriage as you continue. So that is something that you also have to be keen about. And before I forget, our confessionalist also mentioned being codependent. Like, why aren't you autonomous in your situation? Like she mentioned, someone once they've gotten married, now they want you to hang out with their partner as well. I didn't marry your partner, I beg. And if that's what it takes to be your friend, you and your partner go. You can go. Where did what was his name? The poet on TikTok. You and your partner, you can go. Let me go. So that was something that she mentioned, autonomy in marriage. Like, why aren't you having thoughts of your own? Why are you now so codependent on this person? Why can't you exist by yourself? And I think why I thought that marriage was such a far-fetch for me, I think I've mentioned this, is because I wanted to exist as Olive even when married. I'm not opposed to marriage. Imagine I can get married, guys. But can we keep our separate houses? Can we continue existing as Olive and Olive's husband separately? I have my friends. I can still go out with my friends. Even traveling, I can go for trips that you necessarily don't have to come to, even if you're my husband. I can still go for solo trips. So this idea of excess codependency when it comes to marriage is very wild. But anyway, Poetry Doliat, you're saying, at Ating Lau, did you have to cut off unmarried friends? Also, how do you navigate friendship with single people? Oh, that's a question to Ating Lau. Ating Lau, have you seen it? Will you answer that for us? Murioki Kia, you're saying, Mimi, I'm a walking red flag to married women. You're a walking red flag to married women because you've been divorced and because you're single. Wewe ni kama uko na experience. Yo, Shiro, uko na experience ya kukua cut off kwa sababu you're not married. So they consider you a walking red flag because your marriage ended. I genuinely thought these were things our mothers were experiencing. To think that this is going on and I am only 33. When did this start happening? When? I thought we are the ones who are going to change things. Now, Ating Lau, you're saying, that's the problem with church counseling, probably. I took specialists route for couples. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you also for affirming me on that. Yes, church a bit is, even if you're a church person, even if you're a church goer, please take counseling outside church. I promise this is going to be a life changer. I know, I don't want to mention names today. I don't feel violent, but I know some people who are out here masquerading as professional psychologists. They even have shows on TV. And if you listen to the things they're saying, I'm just like, what in the beam swafari is going on here? But anyway, Murioki Kiai also continued to say, I know someone who was kicked off from a married friend group because she got widowed. Widowed. That is wild. Did I choose for my husband to die? Hey, you humans, you're doing too much. Humans, they do too much. Too much. Widowed? Okay, it's not like I'm saying divorce is better to be kicked out for, but widowed is wild. Like not even extending sympathy. Hata ile tu ya pole, condolences. Are you're widowed now? Is it a plague? Will it catch us if you remain? Hey, married people. Ating lao. Ebu find a PR nini. Find a Niko Woko or Nonsizi Agnes to work for marriage as well. Oh, we said marriage is one of those things that need a new PR team. Hey, because no way. I think Lau is saying, I think you're replying to Poetry Doliat. Poetry, my solid friends, some are single, some are not, but I have never evaluated them from that light. And that is something actually the person in the confession said. That if my friend and I right now drift apart because they've gotten married and me, I've not gotten married, and then I get to a point and get married and then we become friends again, then she doesn't want that, because why is it that the prerequisite to be friends is if we both have partners? That's not a strong enough foundation for me to lay our friendship on. So that makes a lot of sense. As well as Ating Lau continues to say, most people don't know I am married because I still hang out with the same people still, and I have been married for 1 year already. Even I didn't know you were married, and I know you from the past. I really did not know. And I think something that I've always admired about these type of people like Ating Lau, there are people who, it doesn't make a difference. You'll meet them, the talk of their husband won't come up, the talk of their wedding won't come up. You'll just meet them as their Ating Lau that you knew back in, was it 10 years ago? When is today? 20? Yo, that was 10 years ago. The age is catching up, guys. The age has caught up. Yeah, it could be right about 10, maybe 8 years ago when I met Ating Lau, and maybe meeting her. And the fact that I even interact with her on social media all this while and I didn't clock that she was married, or maybe I'm just not stalking. Maybe I'm also a healthy person who's not stalking people, okay? So give me props. Murioki Kia, you're saying, yeah, and then get your Orawo joined. My sister is here. Do you have to drop the kids at school first? It's 8:45. Yeah. Anyway, latecomers, you'll have to buy the episode. You'll have to buy the first part. Emily Wilson, you're saying, congratulations, Olive. You've really grown and you've really helped me a lot in my life. Congratulations and thank you. Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm being congratulated for, but anyway, Makofi na vigelegele, please. Well, thank you. I don't know what you're congratulating me for, but thank you. And I don't know also how I've helped you, but I am glad. I'm really happy. I know the podcast as well has been of a lot of help to people, especially with the topics that we're discussing. So yes, thank you so much. I'll take my flowers and I'm very grateful. McKenna Christine, you're saying came late. What's the topic today? Oh, if you're just coming in, this is the In All Honesty podcast on our TBC radio show, coming to you every Monday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. with yours truly, Olive Orawo, right here on IG Live. And today we were talking about adult friendships. When is it time to just go your separate ways? Has your friend been cancelled public? Has your friend gotten married or gotten children? Has your friend become richer? Has your friend made it out of the block? Has your friend outgrown you? All these situations. And in that situation, how do you handle being the one who's been left or being the one who's leaving people, or you're outgrowing people, or things in your life are changing and therefore you can't keep the same friends? So that's the entire dynamic that we've talked about in the first hour. And I know that Mondays sometimes are hectic. And this show is very early in the morning. The idea was to have it as a morning radio talk show. So that's why we have it right now. But do not worry. Here's the thing. If you've already missed the show, don't worry, we still have the show. It goes up if you want the audio that you can listen to, the full episode. It goes up on the link in my bio. That is byolive.com. At byolive.com, you'll find all the episodes and you can listen to it. You buy it for only 75 Kenyan shillings. And also, if you're subscribed to our membership on YouTube, then you have access to the full podcast. But the second hour of the podcast, which is the second hour of the show, which is usually the podcast part, that is available on streaming platforms. So from tomorrow onwards, you'll be able to find your podcast wherever you usually listen to your podcast, whether it's AfriPods, Spotify, you'll find the second half of this show there. But if you want the full show from the first hour, unedited, unadulterated, full 2 hours. You will get it on buyolive.com. And yes, you get the episode for only 75 Kenyan shillings. Please, please, please get the episode. It's very, very, I sell it at a very cheap price. And that is how you get to support the podcast so that we keep running. You see the lights are on. You see I'm here every Monday morning. My laptop is charged. My Wi-Fi is on. All these things so that we keep running. I will really appreciate. That's where you can get the podcast episode. Now I want to read some of the thoughts that came in after. Okay, you came late. Oh, Getty is replying to you. She's saying adult friendships. That's what we're talking about today. And you're saying it's really tough. And Poetry Dolly Art, you're saying, Ating Lau, I really love this. I love it when women don't make marriage their front, back, and center. Now feel affirmed because I got married. Because if I got married, I'd want to still exist as me. That's the autonomy that even the person in the confession was talking about. Like, I still want to be Olive. I don't want marriage to be my personality. And this comes at a time when Bibi ya Tajiri is a whole topic on TikTok. Mimi ni Bibi ya Tajiri. Okay, yes, I get it. It's really fun for TikTok, but I hope it's not your identity outside of like social media. I understand on social media, you put up a brand, you set up a particular like image for what you're supposed to be, or maybe even your content sets up a particular tone for who you exist as on social media. But I hope as well outside of social media, you're still Orawo. You're still the person who has friends and who goes to their family and talks to their family. You're not attached to your husband at the hip. So that is something very important. I don't know if the men fell out in the first hour. Sijawasikia for a while. What's happening? Y'all don't want to talk about friendship. And Emily Wilson, you say marriage is tough, but still tough. Depends why you married. Marriage is tough, but still tough. Okay, I don't get that first part, but you're saying marriage is tough, but it also depends on why you got married. Again, we've had an episode here where we have mentioned that love is not enough, especially if it gets to a point where you want to get married to start a family, you have timelines at hand. I can assure you that Nini, what is it called? Love is not the only thing. You'll have to look at this person's values. Even we've talked about values in this particular situation. What if your friend doesn't share the same values as you? Do you just abandon them? And even in marriage, you'll have to look at your husband's values. You'll have to look at their family, the kind of family that they come from. You'll have to look at their cultural practices. There are things you look at. People are joking out here. Hey, No Name Podcast, special mention. I have mentioned you in this podcast. If you've missed the show, you can buy the episode on buyolive.com. But yes, I was mentioning No Name Podcast because they had this discussion before. They actually talked about friendship and how sometimes now your friend has made it out of the block. Do you still come back, eat chapodondo with them? Do you take them to those like bougie places so that they also see life? Like, how do you balance that dynamic? And I said the No Name Podcast discussed it very well because it was a male perspective. Those were 3 men giving us their perspective. And so it was very informative compared to mine, which is mostly girl. The only perspective I have is from a woman. Now, I've even forgotten what I was talking about. Menopause. Anyway, marriage is tough, but it depends on why you got married. The reason why you got married, it gets to a point where love is not enough. And that is why I said, I even advocate for arranged marriages. Because genuinely, if we looked at this person, their financial status, their cultural beliefs, their practices around, and basically their mentality around different things, money, children, parenting, if it aligns with yours, get married with this person, you will love them mbele, okay? But not arranged marriages that are forced, because I know some arranged marriages that are very, they're abusive. Like your parents married you off because they were poor. No, not that kind of arranged marriage. I would just say, if you're going to look, I'm looking at arranged marriage in the healthy sense. You're both of age. Even it's you who's gone and told your parents, hey, by the way, you guys, can you organize for me there kidogo? We see. Mtoto wanani. Yeah. And I think this is also mentioned in the 97th podcast. Yeah, they mention it, I think, in their second last episode as we speak right now. Yeah. If you can check it out. But basically, if you're just coming in, this is the In All Honesty podcast on our TBC radio show coming to you every Monday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on IG Live with yours truly, Orawo. And today we are talking about adult friendships. When is it time to just call it quits? Is your friend the problem? That could also be an issue. And Sandrak9264, you are saying, I'm opening my jacket so I can read because the font is in white. Please don't think I'm seducing you. Learning the detachment theory with adult friendships, especially colleague or work friends. Hey, new year, new friends. Let me tell you, all my friends, me. If I cheat, I hate God. all the friends I've ever made are from school or work. So when people are saying, don't make friends at work, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll leave the conversation. All the friends I've made are from school or work, and you change schools and you also change work. And it's so difficult to just like let go. Like I remember the last job when I was leaving, and I remember there's a friend of mine who was genuinely stressed, and she was just like, Olave, please try and keep in touch. Please, let's not lose. And I was like, babe, if we lose touch, it's okay. It's okay. You're also going into a new season and you'll make new friends as well. And don't feel like you need to force this thing, okay? We will make new friends. We will thrive. Whenever we can catch up, we will. Don't force it. Don't be possessive over me. I shouldn't be possessive over you. So yes, detachment theory. But for me, again, I said I'm speaking from privilege because I detach very easily because I also don't attach as easily. So maybe for me it's easier, but for other people who maybe even have maybe an anxious attachment style, that might be a whole new case. So we might talk about that. So Sandra, thank you so much for that contribution. And Emily Wilson, you're saying, I know of a person who was against marriage. She got married. Now she's giving weird and reasonable info. Abeg, Ebu tupatie chai. What is she saying? What is this unreasonable information? They didn't believe in marriage. What do you mean you don't believe in marriage? Okay, I was the kind who doesn't believe in marriage for a while, but then I saw on TikTok, there was like a whole thread of people who are saying, oh, I'm married, I live in different houses with my partner, we are very happy. And I was like, oh, so my ideal marriage in my head actually exists. So the hope was renewed for me. I just thought I would never get married because I was very adamant about keeping my space and also my partner and I staying individuals. And so from the way marriage had been presented to me all my life, I genuinely thought, then I guess it's not an option for me because that codependency was just not looking okay in my situation. And Emily Wilson, you are saying people should get into marriage because they want, not because people are getting married or someone is married. Hapa umekosea sana watu wa kanisa, umeongea vibaya, and thunder will strike you. Because I noticed the thing in church, and it happens in groups, like groups of youth, I noticed, okay, maybe they're not churches in Nairobi, maybe churches are mashinani are different, but I also noticed in church there is this pressure for marriage. And when one person in that group gets married, then it's everyone now gets married. And there's some sort of pressure where I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I genuinely believe everyone I know in the church sort of got married between 26 to 28 years old. And there's some sort of pressure where you even see at that point, the ones who don't have perspectives start to become desperate and they sort of like now look and clutch on everything. And let me tell you, I heard that men are coming to church to look for the women who are ready to get married. So let me tell you, that man who has his manipulation has been doing press-ups for years, has now just entered the church to bag the perfect girl who has been told, you can't leave a marriage, you have to make it work. You're going to do press-ups. You're going to do, Ebu andika hapo, nitalia kwi. Yes. Just be warned. I'm not telling you to not get married. I'm just telling you, don't get married out of pressure, like it has been mentioned here. I'm trying to see if I've missed anything against marriage. We got married. Now she's giving weird and reasonable. Ebu give us that tea for that one who's giving unreasonable nini. Information yet she didn't even believe in marriage to begin with. Give us the tea while I read the second confession. So we have the second confession here. Let me just look for it. I am 25. This is it. Okay. Our second confession. Sorry. My friend is mean to me. Is she jealous? Maybe, maybe not. Here we go. I am 25 years old and I have an 8-year friendship. I always thought she was my best friend. When my dad died, she was with me and supported me with her whole heart. But that was the only time when I had huge trouble. After a while, I noticed she always has something to complain about: her family, her boyfriend, her job, and even about herself. Lately, she does not even ask me how I am doing when we are talking on phone. She immediately starts to talk about her problem and then she'll ask. She'll then casually ask, how are you doing? And at that point, it's uncomfortable to now talk about myself. Moreover, since I am a problem solver, I have been trying to solve her problems by talking and advising her, but she never listens to me. She does whatever she wants, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time. Anyway, I have been thinking about her behavior recently, and I noticed that she judges me sometimes. I feel like she judges me sometimes, like asking me, when are you going to change your phone? Or when will you buy a car? or she jokes about me and I feel like she's being mean to me. I forgot to mention that she dated her boyfriend 6 years ago, very shortly, and after they broke up, he flirted with me. Of course, I rejected him and told my friend, and now they are getting married. Maybe she just acts like that because she is jealous of that incident, or she just loves the drama and complaining about everything. What should I do? I generally ghost people and wait for them to walk away. Hey, makofi na vigelegele kwa ghosters. Casper, the friend, you can call me Casper. But anyway, this is a very dysfunctional relationship. And I think we've talked about it even in the first hour, where there is someone who was there at your lowest, your actual lowest. And now they sort of feel like you now feel indebted to them. But then they go ahead to do the most craziest of things. And because you feel indebted to them because they were there for you when you had nothing completely, now you feel like you can't leave this person. Or rather, you'll have to deal with their situationship. And then they have a lot of situationships. Your father died and they came through for you. That's about it. Now, them every day is some issue, every single day. And I asked in the first session, what if your friend is the problem? What do you do in that situation? You actually know your friend is the problem. Because I've even had situations where I even gauge. I know to this event, I can't take this friend. They will ban the photo. In this, I can't take, like, I know your behaviors. And what if your friend is actually the problem? Yeah. So I'd really like to know your thoughts on that. Do you think the friend is jealous? And do you think her friend is jealous and the friend being mean to her? Now, I know someone being mean to you and they call themselves your friend. Because I don't even take someone being mean to anyone else. And that is one of the things that I said in the first hour. When you do something that is against my values, then you have to go. Because I don't understand why you're being mean to people. And I'm supposed to believe you're going to be a good friend to me because you haven't been mean to me. So that is something that I think, no, I believe mean people are not well intended. They don't have good intentions and you need to walk away from them no matter what. And I know for this girl, she has been holding on for so long because that friend came through for her when she had, when she really needed someone, that was the friend that was there. And sometimes it is difficult because maybe this person is there for their vested interest. What if this person does have the savior complex? They want to be there when you're going through your most and claim to be the friend that really came and saved you. And you see how they're behaving after that. It's sort of like they know, and it's sort of like they also know you won't go anywhere. It's like they know you'll still be my friend even if I pull all these things. I don't know. I'd really like to know your thoughts on that second confession. And do you think the friend is jealous, or what are you deriving from that entire situation? I want to read some thoughts here. Sometimes I lose them because they come in flying. Sandra, you're saying out of topic. I miss your cooking videos. I beg. You see, I cooked once and I had a stomach bug. I maybe the Lord is telling me something. Hey, the Lord is telling me something. But yeah, we were talking about friendships, adult friendships, and when is it time to just go your separate ways? And if you're just coming in, this is the In All Honesty podcast, coming to you every Monday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on TBC Radio, on IG Live with yours truly, Orawo. And today we were talking about just adult friendships. When is it time to go your separate ways? Is your friend the problem? Maybe you're outgrowing your friends. Maybe your friends have gotten married and now they feel some type of way about you. Maybe your friend has been cancelled publicly and you don't see a problem with it. So how do you navigate this particular situation? And maybe it's just time to go your separate ways. And I'm really fascinated by these people who actually have had friends for years. At you and your friend have been friends since childhood. I don't even have people from last year, guys. It's been 3 months into this year. Nyinyi mnatoa wapi glue? Please sell for us the glue and sellotape you're using. 247 crochets, sorry. You're saying at Sandra, me too, but maybe her cooking is the reason she fell sick. I will not tolerate slander on my very own live. Ni mimi host hapa na mnani roast. You don't have shame. But anyway, now on this second confession, I had some thoughts about it as we are closing. It's 9:05 in the a.m. We are closing our podcast, but basically on friendships. There are some things that I just want us to look out for, especially when it comes to who your friends are, why you're friends with this person. And one thing I'll tell you is any healthy person, any emotionally healthy person has different circles for different purposes. You have different friends for different things. The friends who, when I don't know, tragedy struck, even the friend who came and took care of me last week when I was sick, that is my friend in a particular context. When I am going to an event, when probably I'm going to a particular event, to even the type of event even changes. There's a friend I'll take to a concert, and there's a friend I'll take to an orchestra. You get? Like, there's different friends for different purposes. I don't believe that someone can have one person to serve their entire needs. This friend of yours is the hype man. This friend of yours is and that is why I think I said that when my friend asked me, what do you mean by needy? That's when I clocked. Maybe it's because the friends I've been having, I'm their only friend, and now they are bombarding me with everything. I will be the person they want in a partner. I'll be the person they want in a parent. I'll be the person they want in a friend. I'll be the person they want in a bestie. So you are serving multiple JDs, and most of the time, the check doesn't even match the JD. You're being underpaid and overworked. So maybe I feel, but that is a personal feeling. I genuinely believe that a healthy person has different circles for different things. There are friends who you'll take for particular things. If I wanted to borrow money, there are some people who will borrow money who are not even necessarily, the person who will borrow money might not even be the friend who came to take care of me. That's a different circle. You get? So at the end of the day, I believe you need to have different circles for different things. And this ride or die thing, me, it's very foreign to me. I really do not understand it. I don't know if I can get behind it. Me, this ride or die for one person for years. Like, you people haven't changed, or you've all been changing in the same direction all these years. Okay, I said I will not judge because, of course, me, I am devoid of emotions, and therefore probably my situation is different. Something else that I think we need to note is that, man or woman, observe your friends' values. This, we've realized, is something that will really cost us. They can't be nice to you, and they are mean to other people. Observe your friends' values, because this is something that is going to affect you in the long run. You'll find yourself in particular situations. And I think this is something I noted in small things like, I know this is being petty, but here's the thing. I'm the kind of friend, if you called and asked me, Olive, can you send me 500 shillings? I will send you 530. So if I meet someone who, when I tell them send me 500 shillings and they send me 500 shillings flat, yeah. So those are some of the things that I feel I've become keen about. I'm just like, if I'm the kind of person who thinks about the after, kama if you need 500 shillings urgently, sinamaanisha basi huna hata ya kutoa, wacha nikutumie ya kutoa. So if I'm the kind of person who thinks through things like that, maybe I should be keen about friends who think about that thing the same way. And not that I can't be friends with someone who only sends 500 shillings. I just need to note that this person is the kind of person who won't send me 530. Like, they're not considerate like that. So I have it at the back of my mind, and therefore I know how to interact with this particular person, so that we don't get into the situation where me, I do things for you, and then they're not reciprocated because we don't share the same values. And then I'll build resentments. Then I'll come and say you are a fake friend, when all that, you saw the red flags, baby, you ignore the red flags. Yeah. Olal Keith, you were saying that that second confession, that is a self-absorbed friend. Call her out. Oh, yeah, they are very self-absorbed. And I think the part where I cut out, because some of these confessions are very long, guys. The part where I cut out, she actually said, I am tired of her self-centeredness, her egocentricness. She mentioned like some very, very big Englishes. She spoke some very big Englishes to describe that friend. And that is truly, they are self-centered. Now, you're saying to call her out. Do you think this friend has the right intention for this girl who has now sent us the confession? Do you think that friend likes her? Me, I would say, cut her off. But then again, I be the toxic woman. Just ghost that babe, block her. If she's mean, she doesn't deserve decency. But anyway, Olal Kit says call her out. Olal is a better person than I am. So decide what to do. Decide what to do in that situation. And something else that I think we also need to be very keen about is be aware of possessive friends. Hey. Mtu unadhani ati they are very inspired by you. My friend, that person wants to wear you like a glove. If they could skin you, have you guys watched Get Out? Yeah, if they could take your body and put themselves inside and exist inside you. You have to be very careful about possessive friends, because what you don't realize is that they are in competition with you. And guys, if you sit and observe, this competition is not even secret. You can see it. You can see it, okay? A friend who's excessively possessive of you is in competition with you, and they don't want you they don't want you with someone else. Now, how do you know your friend is possessive? You've seen these people who they are very, my experience has been like, I'm friends with someone and I'm like, oh, this person is such a nice person, da 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 da. And then I introduce them to another friend and they are extremely vile to my other friends. So you're just like, huku ni wapi? So when I got into the emotional intelligence space, I had to invest in a lot of psychology knowledge. And that is when I learned that friend is possessive of you. They genuinely, do you know these people? You see, when men say, if you won't be mine, then you can't be anyone else's. That is that friend about you. So you have to be very keen about possessive friends because they will go to lengths to keep you to themselves. And they are very jealous of you around other people. And this sounds crazy, guys, because I'm talking about friends. This sounds crazy, but it's real. It is very real. Just check out for possessive friends. And a lot of times it's because even in this possessiveness, even if they want to keep you to themselves, there is something they want from you. There is something they see you have that they really want for themselves. And it's something that you cannot replicate. It's not like a watch that you can go and buy another one and the exact same one and wear. It's usually a character. Like they see Olive has such good fashion sense and they want that, but they don't know how to think like you. They don't know how to put outfits like you. And it's a whole thing. Maybe a movie can explain it, but right now, just be very keen of possessive friends. Friends who sort of don't want to let you go. They don't want to exist. You guys don't exist independently. They want to be everywhere with you. You're going for Nini? I want to go with you. You're going for, I want to go with you. I want to do this with you. Like, you can't exist as independent people. Go and be with other friends. Go and be with other friends. Go to work. Go to Nini. Them, they want to always. It's like a partner. It's like a romantic partner who's obsessed with you. My friend, in this town, utaitana, and it be a friend. Also, if you are healed and wholesome, these are all lessons that I've learned over time, guys, because me, I tell you, maybe sikupewa drama ya ndoa na mapenzi. I wasn't given drama for love, but let me tell you, at friendship, I have taken full crash course. I take a crash course every 3 months since I was a child. So something else that I've learned is, if you're a wholesome person, if you are healed and wholesome, if you've done the work, you've gone to therapy, you know, I have a problem here. I want to be a healthier person. I want to do this. I want to be more confident. If you've really worked on yourself, also be cautious of broken people because they will sort of project their insecurities on you. And I can tell you this for a fact. At the time when I had low self-esteem, I genuinely believed that I was not a pretty girl. I was just like, man, I'm ugly. And at that time, I would really project it on other people. I would just sit and, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but you will project your insecurities on other people when you're not healed. So be very keen with such people as well. You will find that they are broken. And some people, I'll tell you this, because this is something I've noted even working in corporate, some of the most confident people, they walk into a room, they take up space, they talk very confidently. Some of the most confident people have the lowest assertiveness. Once you get behind closed doors with them, the skeletons they are packing of insecurities, my friend, I hope you're not the friend who gets stuck with them behind the closed doors. So people who also appear very confident, they look like they can take over the world. There are some insecurities. And let me tell you, the insecurities run deep. So a lot of times you also just to be, if you're a healed person, look out for people who've not done the work. Because they also like to attract. You see the way if you're a giver, takers are very attracted to you. They can smell you from 700 miles away. Takers know. Oliver meamka, twende. It's the same way when you're a healed person, you're bound to attract a lot of broken people. And that will be heavy on your spirit because you're doing a lot of emotional labor. So be very keen about that. I'm not telling you to drop friends, don't be friends with I'm just telling you to observe. And that is why, guys, I'm an EQ coach. I'm an EQ coach, and I'm just telling you, start learning how to read people so that you also take care of yourself. A lot of times it's also just self-preservation as well as self-awareness. Are your friends self-aware? Are you yourself self-aware? And can you extend empathy to other people? Because I realized people who are not self-aware do not extend empathy because they do not live in other people's worlds. Them, they're just in their world. And even as confident as they are, they might not even realize. Have you ever had someone talk and then you're like, ni mwenda wazimu? You've had someone say something like, let me give an example. Someone will be like, Me, I'm so clean. Me, I like cleanliness. Me, I can't live without cleanliness. I always have to clean. But you look at this, even the space where they are seated saying that, and you're like, which part of your brain tells you you are clean? Like, which are you detached from the real world? So there are people who are not self-aware, and sometimes they don't even realize it. And here is the thing that I'll tell you: from the abundance of the heart, the tongue speaks. Whatever is in your heart, no matter how much you try to keep it hidden, it will come out. So sometimes your friend or the person you're with will say some random at random. This is not planned. At random, they'll say something that you might even pick, but you might even ignore. You'll be like, I don't know where that came from. And you'll feel off because your gut is never a liar. You'll feel off, but you'll ignore it. But then here's the thing. That thing they've said is from the abundance of their heart. And sometimes it overflows. When you try to keep it down too much, it overflows. Like there's something that I noted. I realized that people who are very insecure about their bodies note other people's bodies very fast. Like I'll show you, hey, umona ule dem. And the first thing they see when they look at Olave is like, hey, na akona tumbo kubwa. Hey, na ni akona, like they'll notice features about someone. That tells you that person is insecure about their bodies, or rather they do not realize it. Again, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? When you see someone and the first thing you comment, the first thing that comes to mind, it's triggered by what you yourself are having a battle with. So imeanza kufeel kama kanisa. I'm sorry guys. On the last point, I've had a lot of people who are saying that the breakups are very painful, especially friendship breakups. I myself cannot say I have experienced it because I have not. But I don't know. For people who have had experience with breakups, please, friendship breakups, please let me know how it felt. But I would say, me, myself, what I know I am a horrible person for is ghosting. So I really want to improve my ghosting skills. Not that I will stop ghosting. I'll just communicate when I'm ghosting. I'll just be like, yo, I feel like we're not aligned anymore. So bye. I want to do that. I feel like the person who I'm ghosting deserves that much decency. I feel, in my opinion. So that's something that I am trying to work with. But I don't know for you what you're working on. I don't know what it is like with your friends. You can let me know as we finish our podcast. It's exactly 9:20. Yeah, I think I've even compensated for not being here last week, even as much as I was sick. I am overworking as your friend, and I will ghost you, shit. But anyway, yes, we have come to the end of our podcast today. I hope those things I hope they were they pointed you towards something. I hope you feel like you picked up something, you got an epiphany. Maybe there's a relationship you're struggling with and you were just like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what this is. But also accept things very fast. And here's the thing, your gut will never lie to you. If you wake up one night and something tells you, that friend of yours is jealous, that's exactly it. If you're waking up from a dream where your friend was stabbing you and you're like, kwani hiyo ni nini? And then you remember a particular incident in that very moment, your gut is not wrong. Your subconscious knows everything. We tend to ignore it a lot because we're out here, we're on survival mode, we are on autopilot, always going to work, looking for money, doing this, taking care of children, We often forget that the minute you get an inkling, start to observe it. The minute something tells you, this friend, when it gets heavy, when you start to feel this friend is being mean to me, it's not your imagination, it is happening. When you start feeling, I'm feeling jealous about a particular friend, in that situation, you have to be mature enough to know that it is me who's the problem, and I'm also do I need to take myself away from this situation? What if your friend grows rich? You're not the friend who's grown rich. You're the one who you've been left now in this poor place, and then your friend has grown rich. Are you the type to go now, Tangwa, make it, when in real sense, they're now dealing with a lot more. Like, I know what I have gotten in the recent past has been, huyo sahi ni celebrity, amekuwa influencer. So, I beg. I have over 200 notifications. I'm trying to look for money like you. I am also just changing careers and figuring out things for myself. I haven't talked to you in a while. You went ahead, you got married, you got new friends, I do not know what is happening in your life. You can see me. When you reach out, I try and greet back, but you don't expect me to now keep in touch with every single person I ever had in my life. And your excuse is, when probably I don't respond, it is, she's a celeb these days. I beg, go and unpack. I'm sorry, you have found me at a time when I have healed. This will not even keep me up at night. I'll tell you to go and unpack and leave me alone. But anyway, yes, if you're the friend who's being left or you're the friend who is leaving, how do we navigate that entire situation? This has been the In All Honesty podcast on our TBC radio show, coming to you every Monday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on Instagram Live with Olave Orawo. And you have missed the live action. Do not worry, because you know what? I'm a considerate friend. I got you. Wakurugenzi wako wapi? So if you missed the entire episode and you want to catch the entire 2-hour unedited, unadulterated, it should be up by tomorrow. That is on buyolive.com. The link is in my bio. If you go over there, you can catch the full episode for only 75 Kenyan shillings. That's how you basically keep my lights on and you keep the podcast running, as well as if you've paid our membership for YouTube, that is around 300 shillings, I think, per month, you should be able to access the full video on YouTube. And also, if you just want the second half of the show, which is usually our podcast part of the show, you'll find it where you stream your podcast. That is the 1 hour, the last hour of the show, where you stream your podcast every single time, whether it's on AfriPods, on Spotify, on Amazon Music. You will find the podcast there, stream it and listen to it. And also leave me comments. I know on Spotify you can now leave comments, and I hope I can start. There's a lot in mind, but I hope I can start now putting out prompts early enough so that you have time to give me feedback so that we can discuss it during our live. But also remember, I have Invest in You coming up, an event that I have curated with love alongside my partner Mwanamkasi Juma. And this is a networking event where you also get an EQ masterclass, something that I have been planning for, I think, 4 months now. And I was like, I'm going to give you a masterclass for EQ so that you get to understand what it is. Yes, please come over. We are feeding you. I beg, we are feeding you. Your 3,000 shillings will pay for you. We'll pay for your food as well. So come and feed and interact with people. There's canvas, there's paint. You'll get to paint as you interact with people. And also we have a panel where you can get to learn about how you can invest in yourself financially, mentally, and emotionally. And of course, the emotional intelligence class. I am super excited for it. You guys don't know how much I have been planning. Sleepless nights just putting exercises together for you so that we can do them during the masterclass. Created by me. Sijaenda kutoa ChatGPT. Yani hii kazi naifanya mwenyewe so that I can give you emotional intelligence nuggets here and there and help you navigate your different situations in life. So Invest in You too is coming up this coming Saturday, 15th of March 2025. It will be happening at the Abo Place. The Abo Place is in Lavington in Nairobi, Kenya, and the tickets are only 3,500 Kenyan shillings. I think we've sold 50% of the tickets by the time I was checking on Saturday. Yeah, so I don't know how many have remained right now. I guess you can pick whatever is remaining, and then we can get to it. What is EQ? EQ is emotional intelligence. Like you see how people score IQ, like you're very smart. Now, EQ is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is basically being aware of your emotions, being aware of other people's emotions, and knowing how to react to both emotions so that you navigate different friendships, different relationships, particular scenarios at work, at home, in your marriage. So basically, that is what emotional intelligence is. So if you have, we actually have the buyolive.com has, if you just go to shop now, we have an EQ tools. You can go through it and understand what emotional intelligence is. Just go through the site, read through, and get to understand. And if you'll make it for the event on Saturday, see you there. 3,500 Kenyan shillings is the ticket. You can pick it where you also grab your podcasts by olive.com. Everything is there. I created a site where if I mention anything, go and look for it in that site. You'll find it. Yeah, but you can grab your tickets there, and I'll see you on Saturday. And if not, we'll be here again on Monday for the next episode of the In All Honesty podcast on our TBC radio show every Monday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. by yours truly, Olave Orawo. Today, we were talking about adult friendships. When is it time to just call it quits and go your way? And we have discussed it for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's enough. So catch the episodes tomorrow on buyolive.com or on YouTube, or where you catch your episodes, your podcast episodes, where you listen to them. And for Buy Olive, you buy the full episode at 75 Kenyan shillings. Yeah, that's how you get to support the podcast. But for now, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Until next week, I will put out the prompt early enough, hopefully. What should I play for you? Have you guys listened to Yeyo? Did I ever play for you Yeyo? Because it's in our Buy Olive lounge. I don't know if I've played it for you, but Yeyo by Ochiko and Costa Ojwang, a very beautiful song that will usher us out into the week. Have yourselves a lovely, lovely week. And until next Monday, bye.